Hey there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, coming to you again with another one of our member Zoom chats. These are quick Zoom chats that are designed for our members of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce to help uplift, promote what they're doing. And I have with me today, we have Patrick Nolan, who's the executive director of the Friends of the Organ Mountains Desert Peaks, and Kyla Navarro, who is the policy and community coordinator for the Friends. It is lovely to see your faces, even though I've gotten to see your faces a lot as we are working together. And today we are talking about the 10-year anniversary of the designation of the Organ Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument. What a great time. It's good to see you both.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yes, thanks, Carrie. I always wanted to be on these, so this is great.
Oh, well, we can continue these babies all year long, Patrick, that's for sure. And so, the Green Chamber is very proud to co-sponsor this event, and we've been instrumental along with the Friends and a number of other groups to really help amplify this community's amazing embracing of our public lands. And I think we stand as an example for the rest of the country, really, and are recognized for that. So, but before we get into the nitty gritty about the monument, I want you to tell me about the formation and the purpose of the Friends of the Organ Mountains Desert Peaks, because you've been in existence a little bit, just a smidge longer than the monument.
Yes, we were established in 2012, right? So 2 years before the monument designation. And I think initially we were kind of that grassroots group, right? Making sure that our community is connected to this effort to protect the national monument. And in the time since, I think we've really shifted. We're always protecting this place, but really getting kids outside, helping business communities, helping partners, we've really shifted to sort of outdoor recreation has been a big focus of ours recently. So yeah, we're enjoying our time and we love doing what we do.
Well, and Kyla, I mean, we've, the video on your website is really great, and it shows all of the different activities that the Friends does. Can you kind of talk about some of those things that you're doing to really help create not only more awareness about the monument, but ways to respect and protect the monument?
Yeah, so for sure, I want to put out there that I was in high school when the monument was designated.
We all just felt really old with that one.
But we had a field trip there right before, so it got designated in May. It was like, I would say January-ish. And I've never gone hiking, never been outside. I'm like, what are we doing out here? So I didn't really have this awareness that we're trying to foster with our participants in our Moving Montañas program. So exposing them was like a big first step when we got our outdoor programming started, of just like, oh yeah, you can come out here whenever you want and it's totally safe and amazing and beautiful. But now teaching them different ways to enjoy it and recreate, whether through mountain biking, climbing, or just, educating them on what they can find in their environment. But yeah.
And that's incredible, because we know that there are people, and especially with the Outdoor Equity Fund, that, our state is an example throughout the state, throughout the country as well, of really making our public lands accessible, because it's typically been for people who have money, who can buy equipment, and the Outdoor Equity Fund really helps level that playing field.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really about removing those barriers, right? We know the economic realities of southern New Mexico. And so the work that we do really helps remove those barriers to make sure that these public lands are truly public lands, right? And accessible for anybody in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how have you seen the awareness and use of the monument increase? I mean, we saw this a lot during the pandemic, was that there were a lot more people going outside because it was the safest place to be. But, including the programs that you're doing with the monument and getting people out, what are some of the other things that you've seen are really impacting the awareness and use of it?
The big one for me is mountain biking. I think that is an activity that has just absolutely skyrocketed in demand and popularity. And I think the silver lining of the pandemic and the fortune that we had is that we had access to these safe places. You remember back in the day, it's like, what are we gonna do today? Let's go out on a hike.
Right.
So good times. And so backpacking, mountain biking has really taken off. And I think that's really due in large credit to the folks at Monumental Loop who created this trail that connects all four parts of the national monument. It's over 200 miles. And every year we host what is, along with them and Visit Las Cruces, Danger Bird. So we have folks from all over the country, and we had folks from Europe come in last year to ride to southern New Mexico, right? To ride our trails and visit our monument, right? So what a, like, how amazing and cool that is to really get southern New Mexico on the map.
Yeah, and I think, we saw during the pandemic, we saw a lot of flights from Texas in our parking lots. And so we knew that people were coming here. And I think, wow, when those folks come for those events, they're spending money in our community, which, I really love, because I think it's absolutely fantastic that that goes back to our local businesses. And with that, it's really just, and a shout out to Matt Mason and Pablo, because they were really the brainstorm behind that. With the monumental loop. And so, the Friends of the Oregon Mountains and the Las Cruces Green Chamber are working along with our dear friends at Visit Las Cruces to plan the 10-year anniversary of the Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument. And, I have to say, some of the things that we've been able to do in terms of highlighting our member businesses that have benefited from it, the OMDP Girl Scout patch, the OMDP cocktail, all these different things. There's so much to really celebrate about the monument. And so when we're talking about this 10-year anniversary, what do you think people will get out of going to this event this weekend at the convention center?
I think they'll have a good time, first off, right? They'll hang out with good friends, maybe folks they haven't seen in a while, get all guzzied up and dressed up, and that's always fun to do. And I think it's really celebrating this place continuing, like, well after a proclamation, right? That monument continues to have an impact, right? And I think here in southern New Mexico, we're sort of that really powerful story about what happens after a monument designation and the way it can really shift and change communities. It's a resource, a really incredible resource that we have here.
Kyla, what about you? Because you were in high school when the monument was designated. But you've come from being somebody who's enjoying the monument to also somebody who's advocating for it. And so when we start looking at this celebration, and you and Jessica have been really instrumental in that planning process as well, what do you hope folks will get out of it?
For at least I kind of was thinking along the same lines as Patrick in terms of bringing people together, because there are sort of like, I think of them as like different groups that we work with, but in their own like separate circles, but they all love and benefit from the monument the same, and they might not necessarily come together or overlap. And that's how I see the celebration, is like we're kind of bringing them together and like, oh yeah, look at how our community has thrived in different ways. And yeah.
So what, so you want to tease like what some of the special things are happening at this event? I mean, I know what they are, but I want you to talk about them.
There'll be a great, our keynote speaker will be Senator Martin Heinrich, one of our better
champion. Yeah.
One of the best public lands champions, right? Some great silent auction items. Our MC will be Mayor Pro Tem Ioana Bencomo, guiding us through the evening.
We all like her a little bit.
Carrie dancing, all sorts of great, cool, fun things.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. I mean, the prom stuff, I've just never been a prom stuff, but I know special little kid that lives next door to me is very excited about wearing a prom dress. And so I think it's going to be a great night. So I know that, we tried to cut off ticket sales last Friday, but I think if you are a viewer of this and you want to still get tickets because you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot, we'll squeeze you in. So you'll want to go ahead and make sure. So we'll have that information for ticket sales. So where you can purchase tickets. Tickets are $100 a piece. There's going to be food provided, a lot of dancing, a lot of music, a lot of great speakers, and I'm looking forward to the silent auction items and the live auction items, which I get to be able to try and get money out of people. So, thank you both for doing this. The 10-year anniversary of the designation of the Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument will be taking place this Saturday at 5:30 at the Las Cruces Convention Center. And like I said, if you are thinking, oh my gosh, I completely forgot, we'll squeeze you in, but you got to get tickets today because after today, no more. And so thank you both, Kyla and Patrick. It's always a pleasure working with you and for coming on and talking with us today about 10 years of National Monument.
Thank you, Carrie.
Absolutely.
All right.